Why is it that when someone we care about hurts us, our first instinct is often the exact reaction that makes everything worse? You're standing there, feeling that sharp sting of pain. Maybe she said something that cut too deep. Maybe she broke a promise. Or maybe her actions showed a complete disregard for your feelings. And in that moment, something primal takes over. You either want to lash out and hurt her back, or you want to shut down completely, build a wall, and never let her close again. But what if I told you that both of those reactions, the ones that feel so natural, so justified, are actually trapping you in a cycle that will only bring more pain? Think about it. When was the last time exploding in anger or freezing someone out actually healed a relationship? When was the last time either of those reactions made you feel genuinely better in the long run? Today, we're talking about something that affects every relationship we'll ever have, yet so few of us have actually learned how to do it right: responding to emotional hurt in a way that honors your own feelings while creating the possibility for genuine healing and growth. The problem is that most of us were never taught how to process emotional pain in relationships. We learned by watching the adults around us, who were probably just repeating patterns they'd inherited. Or we developed our own protection mechanisms that might have helped us survive difficult situations in the past, but are now keeping us stuck. There's a fundamental truth about relationships that most people miss. How you respond when you're hurt often determines whether your relationship deepens or disintegrates. It can be the difference between building something that lasts or living through the same painful cycles over and over again. So let's talk about what happens in your body and brain when she hurts you. That immediate reaction, the surge of anger, the desire to withdraw, the racing thoughts, that's your nervous system going into protection mode. Your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for emotional processing, essentially hijacks your rational thinking. Your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, preparing you to either fight or flee. This is why your first reaction is rarely your best reaction. Your brain is literally prioritizing self-protection over connection, problem-solving, or growth. But here's where most advice gets it wrong. You'll hear people say, just stay calm, or don't react in the moment. That's like telling someone not to feel pain when they touch a hot stove. The reaction is automatic. The key isn't pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's learning how to move through it intentionally rather than being controlled by it. So, what does moving through pain intentionally actually look like? First, it means creating space between the hurt and your response. When you feel that surge of emotion, that tightness in your chest, that heat rising to your face, recognize it as a signal. Your body is telling you something important. This matters to you. But that signal doesn't have to dictate your next move. Take a breath, literally. A deep breath activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps counteract the stress response. Tell yourself, I'm hurting right now, and that's okay. I don't need to act from this place of pain. This isn't about suppressing your feelings. Quite the opposite. It's about feeling them fully without allowing them to drive your behavior in ways you'll later regret. The second step is to get curious about your pain rather than immediately assigning blame. Ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling right now? Is it rejection, disrespect, betrayal, inadequacy? The more precisely you can name your feeling, the less power it has to overwhelm you. Then ask, what need of mine isn't being met? Behind every emotional hurt is an unmet need. Maybe you need to feel respected, prioritized, understood, or secure. Identifying the need helps shift you from accusation to vulnerability, from you hurt me to I need something I'm not getting. This shift is crucial because it moves you from a stance of opposition to one of potential collaboration. It transforms a moment that could drive you apart into an opportunity to understand each other more deeply. Now comes the hardest part for many of us: communicating the hurt without weaponizing it. There's an art to expressing pain in a way that invites connection rather than creating more distance. Instead of, you always do this, or you never consider my feelings. Try, when this happened, I felt hurt because it seemed like my feelings weren't important. I need to know that you care about how your actions affect me. Notice the difference? You're taking responsibility for your feelings while clearly expressing what you need, without attacking or diminishing her. But what if she doesn't respond well? What if she gets defensive, dismisses your feelings, or even tries to blame you for being hurt? This is where many of us either escalate or shut down, both reactions that damage the relationship further. Remember this, you cannot control her response, but you can remain grounded in your truth. You can say, I understand, you might see this differently, but this is my experience and my feelings are real to me. I'm sharing them because this relationship matters to me. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is hold space for your own hurt without demanding an immediate resolution. Not all wounds heal in a single conversation. Some require time, reflection, and repeated honest exchanges. There's also wisdom in recognizing when a hurt reveals something fundamental about the relationship that needs to change. Not all pain in relationships is a signal to work harder. Sometimes it's a signal that something isn't working at all. Ask yourself, is this hurt part of a pattern? Does it touch on core values that might be incompatible? Is there a willingness on both sides to understand and grow from this? These questions help you discern whether the pain you're experiencing is the discomfort of growth or a warning that something is fundamentally unhealthy. One of the most overlooked aspects of handling hurt in relationships is the importance of self-compassion. Many of us, especially men, have been conditioned to believe that emotional pain is weakness, something to be overcome quickly and privately. But treating your own hurt with gentleness isn't weakness. It's emotional intelligence. It's recognizing that your needs and feelings matter, not because you're entitled to have them all met exactly as you wish, but because they're part of the authentic communication that makes real intimacy possible. When she hurts you, resist the urge to prove that you're too strong to be affected. That false strength becomes a barrier to genuine connection. Instead, allow yourself to acknowledge the impact her actions or words had on you. This vulnerability, when expressed with clarity rather than accusation, is actually profound strength. Consider this truth: how you handle being hurt reveals more about your character than almost anything else. It shows whether you prioritize protecting your ego or preserving the possibility of understanding. It demonstrates whether you're committed to growth or entrenchment. It reveals whether you value the relationship more than being right. The healthiest relationships aren't those where no one ever gets hurt. That's impossible when two imperfect humans interact closely over time. The healthiest relationships are those where both people know how to move through hurt together, using it as an opportunity to understand each other more deeply and adjust how they show up for each other. So the next time she hurts you, whether it's something small like forgetting an important date or something larger like a betrayal of trust, remember that your response is shaping not just this moment, but the future of your connection. Take that breath, feel the feelings without becoming them. Get curious about what's happening inside you. Communicate your hurt as an invitation to understand each other better, not as a weapon or a wall. And perhaps most importantly, remember that choosing a thoughtful response over an impulsive reaction isn't just a gift to the relationship, it's a gift to yourself. It's the difference between being controlled by your pain and growing through it, between remaining stuck in patterns that no longer serve you and evolving into someone capable of deeper, more satisfying connections. The right way to react when she hurts you isn't about ignoring your pain or pretending it doesn't matter. It's about honoring that pain by responding to it with the wisdom, courage, and intentionality it deserves. Because how you handle hurt isn't just about this relationship. It's about who you become through the inevitable challenges of connecting deeply with another human being. The path of reactive anger or withdrawal might feel momentarily satisfying, but it leads nowhere new. The path of intentional response, of feeling fully while choosing wisely, that's where growth lives. That's where you find the kind of love that doesn't just survive difficulty, but transforms through it. So the next time you feel that sting, remember, this moment of pain is also a moment of choice. And that choice will echo far beyond this single interaction. Choose well.